All right, what is up, FPG fam? Welcome back to the channel and welcome back to another Chaos Zero Nightmare video. I got a good one for you. So I put in many hours into building up Yuki, getting an in-depth understanding of this character, and what I've realized is that she is more versatile than I even knew and what I believe people are giving her credit for. Let me explain. So everybody views Yuki as an AoE damage dealer, which is true. She is an AoE damage dealer and a good one at that, if not the best one at it. But she also has a single target burst damage build that you can put together for her with the correct deck and cards. So that's what I wanted to go and showcase today. I call it my secret build, quote unquote, but I think it's very good. And I only call it a secret build because I haven't seen many people utilize it or talk about it. And I think it's highly underrated and can be incredibly useful, especially for situations like we are in now with the events where it's single target bosses and you need to burst them down. The AoE just doesn't cut it a lot of times, and having this burst damage build is, I think, very crucial for those situations, specifically in my opinion. Of course, having an AoE build for her and having a single target burst damage build like this one. So I'm gonna go ahead and showcase it. I'm gonna go ahead and break it down for you. I do hope you enjoyed today's video. If you do, drop a like, sub if you're new, especially if you get some value from it, and especially if you're a Yuki enjoyer or a Yuki main like myself. And thank you guys for all the support. I really do appreciate it. With that being said, let's go ahead and hop in because I love this build. I think it's really solid. Also, let me know in the comments down below. I realize I haven't made an in-depth Yuki guide. Once again, I believe I have a pretty solid understanding of this character. So if you want an in-depth Yuki guide, I know there's hundreds out there, but if you want my opinions on her and my breakdown, let me know in the comments down below. I'll be more than happy to do that for you. Anyways, here's the build, right? And I think this build is pretty solid in my opinion. Of course, we have the longsword slash. I kept the longsword slash and the rapid slash for two reasons. One, this becomes a zero cost, but also when you build up the potential, this can hit pretty hard, as well as the rapid slash, you know, the potential for the basic cards. This can hit pretty hard and this can come in clutch, right? And once again, these are both single targets, so it fits within the build that we're trying to do. Now, the star of the show, or one of the stars of the show, is the prepare to subdue. Everybody knows this card is instrumental for Yuki to perform well, and I did get a divine epiphany on this one and replicated it, so pretty solid in that aspect. It is a retain, and you'll see most of the cards that I have are retain on this build. Draw one attack card, increase damage amount of those cards by 40% for one turn, and we get 1 AP. Incredibly solid for the build that we're trying to do for a burst damage, right? For single target burst damage. So let's say, for example, you get a prepare to subdue. You're able to pull the rapid slash, get the inspiration on it. That's 30%, 40%, 70%. This card can then nuke and do pretty solid damage. That's why I kept the rapid slash. Same with the longsword slash. This becomes a zero. Put an additional 40% on it. It can hit pretty hard. If you crit with it, it's solid, right? Moving over to the flash slash. So for most cases and in most situations, people will go ahead and choose the AoE of this card, and rightfully so. It's solid, especially if you get a divine epiphany. You can get some vulnerables and weakness and things of that nature. Now, unfortunately, I didn't get a divine epiphany on this one, but I was able to replicate it. But I did get an epiphany, and the one that I chose was the retain, once again, and I chose the single target burst, and that's the 392% damage, 60% damage amount for each drawn card of this unit for one turn, and you can get a max of 3. So, and that's not hard to do with Yuki, because the thing is that for each drawn card of this unit for one turn, so it doesn't specifically state that Yuki has to draw it. It just has to be her card that is drawn, so that can be done by other combatants. So it's not hard to go ahead and get the max 3 stacks. So you go ahead and get the 60%, you get 392%, you put the 40% on top of that, and you can see where we're hitting incredibly hard at this point. Things are starting to stack, and this is all single target so far, right? Moving on from there, we do have the trickery strike. Once again, a retain. And for this one, I went with the 16% damage, excuse me. Choose one card of this unit in hand, activate inspiration. This can come in clutch. Let's say, for example, we pulled the rapid slash, but we didn't get it by inspiration. We can go ahead and use trickery strike, put it on the rapid slash, get the inspiration, and then go from there. So it comes in clutch from time to time. We can retain it, retain, and be able to wait for the proper setup. Then we have the freezing blade. The one I went with is the, once again, single target burst damage one. A lot of times people will go, and including myself, when I say a lot of times, people will include myself in that statement, we'll go with the one that does damage to all, 60% or 90%. Very solid. But for this one, especially if you have the initiation on it, but for this one, Once again, I'm going for a specific build. We went with the unique. When using this card of this unit with an activated inspiration, 130% damage to a random enemy. Now the thing is, it says random enemy, but when you're going up against a single target boss, that's going to be the enemy, and you're always going to get that 130% damage on it. So now we're ramping up. We pop the freezing blade, we pop the prepare to subdue, we pull the flash slash, 130%, 40%, 60%. We get 3 cards. Now we're uber juiced at this point, and if we're critting, we're nuking, and it's very nice. Now, no build for Yuki will be complete without the iceberg cleave. We keep the iceberg cleave because 1, AoE is still nice on her to have, but 2, even with this being an AoE card, it hits incredibly hard even on single target damage or single bosses. So because of the +1 hit, once again, we can do the trickery strike to get the inspiration if we don't have it already. So this is the single target burst damage secret, quote unquote, build that I wanted to go and showcase for you guys. And hopefully you guys like it. I like it a lot. Once again, I use this for when I'm going up against bosses. If I'm not going up against bosses and I'm going up against a bunch of mobs, I'll use my other builds that I have that are AoE focused. Now for the equipment, we have the replica core. Of course, this would have been more better. Now this would have been better if I had the Chimera Knight, of course, right? Best in slot, but I think this is the second best in slot. When drawing your own attack card by an ability, that card 50% damage amount for 1 turn. Incredibly solid still, right? We're getting 82 instead of 90, but it's still very good. Also, we have the assault boots, and we have what I consider to be a very underrated equipment, the superconductive protein. This card does come in clutch. It really does. So anyways, that is the build. That is the deck. Those are the equipment. Let's go ahead and hop into a fight, and we can showcase this for you. All right, so we're gonna go ahead and jump in here. Hopefully we can get the right cards. Hopefully we can pop off. Now the superconductive protein coming in incredibly clutch on the freezing blade. If you remember, this was a 1 cost, 0 cost. I love that superconductive protein. Freaking solid. Let's go ahead and get the ballista going. We have the shelling ballista on this one. Let's go ahead and do the adagio. Okay, not the best hand in the world, but it is what it is. We're gonna make this work. Now of course we have 2 enemies here, but the second boss after this guy is going to be single target. We need to get there first and foremost, but we just don't have the cards. It's quite unfortunate, but it is what it is. We gotta survive to win. So we got the prepare to subdue. We're just gonna go ahead and pop that first. We got the iceberg cleave, which is nice for this run right here. I don't know what I said earlier, don't mind me. Anyways, let's go ahead and grab, we could grab the longsword's slash, but I do want to get the mark on all enemies for that giant iceberg cleave, so we're gonna go and do that. Okay, I don't even know what we got. We're gonna pop the Sir Kowalsington. All right, we got another prepare to subdue. Incredibly solid, actually. Let's go do that. Let's see what we get here. All right, we're kind of popping. Go ahead and see what we get here. Okay, very nice, very nice. I'm gonna iceberg cleave it. Okay, critting, beautiful. Gonna go ahead and do this here. Yeah, the damage. We're doing damage. All right, this is where this guy's at. Okay, so what we're gonna do, we already have 1. We're gonna go ahead and pop this guy. Got the trickery strike, which we're actually gonna go ahead and use. What I'm also gonna use, let me go ahead and pop the West McCottonton. Let me do the West McCottonton. I'm gonna go ahead and actually let me get rid of this thing. We gotta prepare to subdue. This is one of the best situations that possibly could have happened. Let's go ahead and do that. All right, so we got the rapid slash, so we got 4, so we're gonna go ahead, this is at 3, so we're gonna go ahead and do the rapid slash, 750%. Do that right there. Pop that, and then we're gonna go ahead and do the trickery strike, and then we'll go ahead and end it here. So you can see where the burst is coming from, right? It's solid once again for single target, bursting them down. This is one of the most unfortunate hands I've ever had in my entire life. Bro, this guy has filled me with some shock. I thought Veronica might have been able to take him out. It is what it is. All right, so we're gonna go ahead. I mean, this guy's dead, but let's see if we can get a nice, like, solid nuke. Let's prepare to subdue. Let's mark him. Let's repose. Beautiful. Let's prepare to subdue. We got the flash slash. Should we do the Sir Kowalsington just cuz? Sir Kowalsington? Okay. We're just gonna nuke. Yeah, solid, right? Almost 3k. Pretty nice. Anyways, that is the build, the single target burst damage build. Let me know what you guys think down in the comments below. I'm interested to see what you guys have to say. Very fun build. I do enjoy it. Once again, for those bosses, that's where Yuki can be very versatile. You know, she can be AoE, but she can be single target as well, however. So anyways, thank you guys so much for all the support. Once again, if you want to see an in-depth guide, let me know in the comments down below. I'll be more than happy to show that off for you. Remember to stand out, be different, and have fun. Go further beyond in everything that you do. My name's Cody. Call me further. I'll see you all next one. Bye, guys.